Inside Wirtschaft from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, NYSEinstein. Wild and crazy week. Hold on to your seats. Markets in turmoil. First time for a while. I don't know if I'm German or Jamaican today. Anyway, market closed down 100 points virtually. Market is in a political erosive state. Today was an absolute follow-through over yesterday's sell-off. It came in. John Deere, big international exposure, down 10 points. Some earnings were weaker than expected on that front, and that pulled the market down. Option expiration brought some sell side coming in this morning. They were posturing for a pop-up opening after yesterday's sell-off, but it surely turned negative in a big way. So we've got further unraveling and madness coming out of the administration. And as I spoke about it yesterday, we're talking about multiple tranches of situation. I believe that we are re-engaging the fear about terrorism and geopolitical problems. I think we are re-engaging the fear about the vulnerability and what's coming out of Washington. I think we are re-engaging the fact that this market is at all-time highs, and that there is, are we building a top, or is that 22,000 just a number? Are we going to be able to follow through on this? Are we building any kind of support in this market? So multiple tranche selling has happened since yesterday. Today we closed down about 80 points. It felt weak. We had Mr. Bannon fired today. Okay, there was some euphoria about that. Although whatever you may have heard on the internet about cheering on the floor about Mr. Bannon leaving was in fact not correct. That was my clerk leaving early, and there's a tradition on the floor that when somebody leaves early on a Friday, you cheer. It had nothing to do with it. The market barely really noticed from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange what happened when Mr. Bannon was let go. There were some upgrades on the GDP numbers, which I think turned the market around this morning, but we ended up rolling over. We've got dysfunctional erosion coming into politics and the administration out of Washington. We've got some weaker than expected numbers on the retail side and some earnings side. We've got those economic boards. We've got the marriage of politics and corporate leaders completely falling away and dissipating. And I think once you see people like Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan and a number of these people from Markt and big, large corporate leaders jumping ship in the administration, that is going to have an effect on the agenda. That's what I think is eroding this market, and I think that may be following through. I'm not really sure about that. It's a day at a time. We've not seen any kind of break in the market for a while. We closed out at 21,670. That's about 600-700 points off the all-time highs, which we saw last week. It's important to watch that there is some pressure. There is some erosion in this market, and I think it's something we have to address. I don't know why or what is going to happen over the weekend, geopolitically, economically, or politically here in the United States. That's why today was basically a sell pressure kind of a day. Why would I stand in front of a market that's just trading right off of all-time highs and start buying this swing when I could wait until Monday? So we've got NYSEinstein here from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. We're still on board to a good day overall because the market really didn't break hard. We did see some follow through on the sell side from yesterday. It is important to watch. It's waking everybody up out of a sleep, because now you either have to get a shopping list of what stocks are getting cheap because sectors are getting hit, what you want to be involved in, or whether we step away, we pause, and we let this thing unwind a little bit. Foot Locker got decimated. Nike down on sympathy of that. Where do you play your game? Where do you put your money? Who do you watch? NYSEinstein, inside Wirtschaft from the floor of New York Stock Exchange.